Hello, kia ora, g'day. I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast through until Monday of next week. And this week being a short week due to Easter and Anzac, we've only got one weather video for Australia this week. Just as well we picked a week where there isn't actually a lot going on, but we'll break down where the thunderstorms may be and tropical low pressure. We'll start with the tropical low up here near the top end. As we said last week, borderline kind of system at this stage still doesn't look like it will reach that category, tropical cyclone status. It is drifting slowly off towards Indonesia, so there might be some heavy rain around the top end today, tomorrow. Otherwise, it doesn't really pose a threat. The main feature really is high pressure to the southeast. Between that high pressure system and a low just off the coast of New South Wales, a windier, cooler southeasterly. That's why you see the green shading on this map. That means temperatures are down a wee bit. Warmest weather to the north, obviously, and to the west, where you've still got the hotter airflows. So this wind off the sea cools down as it certainly goes into the mountains there. And with that low nearby, just sort of puts the squeeze on a wee bit, makes those southeasterlies a little bit stronger. Now that southerly flow pretty much fades out as it goes inland. Elsewhere, not a lot to really talk about. So this is how Wednesday kicks off. The high pressure zone down near Tasmania drifts further out to the east. Could be some showers into the northwest corner and northern parts of Tasmania. It doesn't look like a huge amount because remember, you're on the edge of high pressure. The heavier rain goes further northwards up along coastal parts of New South Wales, pretty much from one end to the other, from Victoria up to about Brisbane. That's where you're seeing the chance of some heavier downpours coming through with that easterly wind coming out of the Tasman Sea, the New Zealand area as well. Apart from a couple of other showers around the far north Queensland and brushing the top end, a large portion of Australia is dry. But we do see a few showers up here, still the leftovers of Cyclone Errol. There's a few showery stuff left over around the Pilbara area in particular. And coming down into western parts of, coastal parts of Western Australia to the west there, you are getting a westerly. I said west a lot then. Coming off the sea. So temperatures will be down a wee bit on Wednesday in places like Perth, all the way down to the southwest corner. But further eastwards you go, that's a hot northerly coming out around, for example, Esperance. On Thursday, the cooler southerly moves further across Western Australia, so temperatures dropping for you, showers coming in, not a massive amount, but showers coming through, and those winds could be a little strong. Autumn-like, that is for sure, as they blow through between the very weak area of low pressure just south of Esperance and the incoming high over the Indian Ocean. So the squeeze is on there, that blows that southerly through a bit. Couple of showers all the way right through, up until more northern parts or central parts of Western Australia. Along the eastern side, more of the wet weather, most likely from Brisbane down south of Sydney again. So you got a wet sort of Wednesday, Thursday on the way in those eastern areas as high pressure moves to New Zealand, and New Zealand gives you our showery easterly. So enjoy that. A couple of showers at the top of the country as well. Inland areas, not much going on at this stage, but as we go into the weekend, we've got a little bit of energy coming through. The high from the Indian Ocean sort of bulldozing eastwards, that southerly that was coming into Western Australia is still there, but now it's starting to push into South Australia, maybe Ceduna, Adelaide, Kangaroo Island and other places in between, getting a chance of some showers. Won't be very much because most of that wet weather is offshore, but it is worth tracking because this will be moving along eastwards as the high over the Indian Ocean bulldozes it that way. Now we've got some heavy rain around the northern rivers, also up towards Brisbane. That's a possibility on Friday as the high that was over Tasmania moves eastwards. Now Tasmania might see some wet weather coming in again from the north to northwest, and we may be seeing some heavier downpours into those very dry parts of western and northwestern Victoria, where we have not really talked much about wet weather in recent weeks. There's a chance of it. It's not very much, but there is a chance. And if you get one of those heavier falls, you'll be happy, if you need the rain that is. And you'll start to see those showers increasing around New South Wales. Takes us to Saturday. So now we've got the old autumn mix of warm and cold, boom go the thunderstorms. So we've got southerly winds coming in from actually from Western Australia, coastal areas, but they are more significant around the eastern side of South Australia. You'll feel those winds certainly coming in around Adelaide, for example. Not overly strong, but just the colder airflow coming through. Now over Tasmania, also southerlies, but as we go into Victoria, those southerlies kind of fade out. There is low pressure hanging around the border of Queensland and right across a big part of New South Wales. It's not a storm or a big low, it's just enough of that lack of high pressure to keep things settled. And so now you start to see some convergence, some cloud buildups during the day, severe thunderstorms and other thunderstorms in the mix coming into some of the more populated places like Melbourne, Bendigo, other areas, and it moves into areas like Canberra, the A.C.T and further across New South Wales. So please keep that in mind across this coming weekend. It may start as early as Friday, going into Saturday as well. You can see here from the thunderstorm risk map, this is for the afternoon on Saturday, these thunderstorms coming through, especially around Burke, further to the east around Port Macquarie, Newcastle, maybe Sydney and Canberra, getting them for a time as they track through. So keep an eye on the rain radar as we go into the weekend. By Sunday, low pressure is now properly deepening off the coastline. Got the Tasman Sea to fuel it. So that helps that low spin up. Big southerly flow coming through now. So Tasmania, temperature drop, taste of winter in the air. Those southerlies blowing into Melbourne and all of Victoria from east to west, coastal areas exposed. Similar story in South Australia and southern parts of Western Australia. That is a southerly flow all the way along. It gets stronger as you head to the southeast corner where it interacts with that low. That's a squash zone in there, low pressure one side, high pressure on the other. The isobars get squeezed up. That's what you're seeing around Tassie. Now speaking of isobars, the easterlies pick up across Western Australia. That will boost up your temperatures, but also a chance of some showers, maybe some thunderstorms in there on Sunday, and severe thunderstorms possible around the top end. We've still got a lot of sort of murky low pressure going on up there. Nothing really big forming, just hanging around. Queensland, you're mostly dry, almost completely dry, just a few showers, very top, very bottom. And we come through to Monday of next week. The big picture shows the Southern Ocean looking pretty stormy. Nothing too big for Australia though coming out of that. Tasmania just brushed by it, the pale blue on the map, just a couple of showers, mostly dry in the north. But we do see showers lingering around that southeast corner and a large part of the southern coastline. They are very much coastal showers. They won't be going inland very far for most places. Perhaps the southeast corner here on the border of New South Wales and Victoria got the better chance of that. And those easterlies carrying on, still fairly windy around parts of Western Australia, which means it'll be pretty warm. And that's all from me on this short week. So we will see you again on Monday of next week. Hopefully next week back to the usual programming. Thanks very much for joining us. Enjoy your week ahead.